Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles in the Mercury Theater on the air in War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Mercury Theater and the star of these broadcasts, Orson Welles.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's, and yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. With infinite complacence, people went to and fro over the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small spinning fragment of solar driftwood which by chance or design man has inherited out of the dark mystery of time and space. Yet across an immense ethereal gulf, minds that to our minds as ours are to the beasts in the jungle, intellects vast, cool, and unsympathetic, regarded this earth with envious eyes and slowly and surely drew their plans against us. In the 39th year of the 20th century came the Great Disillusionment. It was near the end of October. Business was better. The war scare was over. More men were back at work. Sales were picking up. On this particular evening, October 30th, the Crosley service estimated that 32 million people were listening in on radios.
For the next 24 hours, not much change in temperature. A slight atmospheric disturbance of undetermined origin is reported over Nova Scotia, causing a low-pressure area to move down rather rapidly over the northeastern states. This weather report comes to you from the Government Weather Bureau. We now take you to the Meridian Room in the Hotel Park Plaza in downtown New York, where you will be entertained by the music of Glenn Miller and his orchestra.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From the Meridian Room in Park Plaza, New York City, we bring you the music of with a touch of Brandon Monroe Keller leads off with La Comparsita. Ladies and gentlemen, our program Dance Music will be temporarily interrupted due to a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. At 20 minutes before 8 Central Time, Professor Farrell of Mount Jennings Observatory, Chicago, Illinois, reports observing several explosions of incandescent gas occurring at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas to be hydrogen and moving towards the Earth with enormous velocity. Professor Pearson of the Observatory of Princeton confirms Farrell's observation and describes the phenomenon as, quote, like a jet of blue flame shot from a gun, unquote. We now return you to the music of Glenn Miller and his band in the Meridian Room of the Park Plaza Hotel situated in downtown New York. Ladies and gentlemen, following on the news given in our bulletin a moment ago, the Government Meteorological Bureau has requested the large observatories of the country to keep an astronomical watch on any further disturbances occurring on the planet Mars. Due to the unusual nature of this occurrence, we have arranged an interview with the noted astronomer, Professor Pearson, who will give us his views on this event. In a few moments, we will take you to Princeton Observatory in Princeton, New Jersey. We return you until then to the music of Glenn Miller and his orchestra. We are now ready to take you to Princeton Observatory at Princeton, where Mr. Phillips, our commentator, will interview Professor Richard Pearson, famous astronomer. We take you to Princeton, New Jersey.